Noah iri akitaru. Hello, everyone. Here we are doing really great today. Getting started right on time. Uh, I'm going to let everyone get in. I think we have everybody in the room. Welcome to our day 3, 2020 National Native American Languages Summit. I just want to say, Noah iri, anyway, dura chicks to who akitaru here, Native American Language Summit. And do that chicks to who Brian Freejo, your MC for these past 3 days. And I'm honored to be here, be a part of this first virtual 7th annual National Native American Language Summit here on the Zoom platform, Zoom network. So thank everybody for showing up here on our last day, a special session that we're having today, the Native American Code Talker session. And um, wow, we have some great honored guests here today. So I just want to I'll go ahead and get started. Here we have I don't want to keep these elders and Iruska. That's what we call our veterans. Our veteran warrior society is the Iruska. So I don't want to keep these elders and these respected gentlemen waiting too long. So I want to do our first introduction of a friend of mine and someone who's influential in his community and among his people. His name is Micah Richardson from the Hallawasaponi tribe, the great state of North Carolina. Mike Richardson, Hallawasaponi, serves as a director of the National American Indian and Alaska Native Head Start National Collaboration Office. NAIA-NHSCO is committed to assisting Head Start grantees in developing collaborative partnerships to improve the quality of life of American Indian and Alaska Native children and families. The NAIA-NHSCO serves 152 AIAN Head Start programs in 26 different states across the country. During his tenure as collaboration director, he has worked with tribal programs to increase and expand language cultural revitalization with the goal that all tribal Head Start programs and their communities have language programs for their youngest speakers. This led to a collaboration of several statewide and regional Native American language conferences for tribal early childhood stakeholders. He has partnered with many agencies such as ANA, Smithsonian Linguistical Committee, University of New Mexico American Indian Policy Language Research, and all the tribal colleges and universities and many others to provide the best tribal language resources. We would like to acknowledge that Mr. Richardson is a retired Army multi-combat veteran, Iruska, and an adult learner of his tribal language. Micah Richardson will do our opening prayer.
Mikia Miti Mikiha Mahasupana Jagdilag, Mike Richardson Mikila Kiwa. I just want to say that I'm honored to be here today as an Aruste One from my tribe, as a warrior. It means a lot to represent us here today. I fought battles all across the world for over 20 years, and coming in and working with Head Start and with our tribal children and families, communities. This is a new battle that we've taken up on our language revitalization. So it's always an honor to work with ANA. We've been partners now for quite a few years. So thank you guys so much. I'm going to say this prayer. This prayer is one for our warriors, as well as a welcoming for everyone that's coming on today. So thank you so much for having me. Iiki ya pilohuk, nahan ke pleki, wataka ki magas mihane, lahuhi lewi, nehan pleki le waki, o yit na ho he ya pito, pilohuk oho hook non se, yaki wa'i loko, le wa'i hua, naan pleki hook non sai, wa'i hook na hota, wan kila kita nigas wan kospeta, hook non sai, si ta'i wasi, nan he wai o yat no ho wa'i, eye pito, wakilaka matski tone, we want ki pilo hook wan sketa, ya ki wa'i lots koto, e yinki ya yo ho wan yan yi steka, ba nigas wa ya pilo hook, I rote oni ohonya yite steka wenagas while ye pilahuk. We thank you. We thank our creator and we thank our warriors. Thank you so much for having me today.
Aho, Noah Idia, Micah Richardson for that wonderful prayer today. And now we're gonna move on to our next introduction. And I want to introduce Mr. Ron Lessard from the Mohawk people. He's a sun dancer and a Vietnam veteran. He served as Chief of Staff of White House Initiative on American Indian and Alaska Native Education, WHIAIANE, from September 2013 to November 2016. And since then, he has served as Acting Executive Director. This White House initiative leads the President's Executive Order 13592, improving American Indian and Alaska Native educational opportunities and strengthening tribal colleges and universities. The initiative supports activities that strengthen the nation by expanding education opportunities and improving education outcomes for all American Indian and Alaska Natives students. Mr. Lessard is a signatory to the most recent interagency memorandum of agreement on Native American languages and has helped plan all of the 7 national Native American languages summits, as the one we're on today.
Oh, thank you, Brian. Do you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, thank you. I want to thank Micah for that introduction, my dear friend. I'm looking forward to working together in person. We always seem to be on panels and things together and cross each other's paths when we're at conferences and things. And really want to extend special thanks to Commissioner Hovland and Michelle for all the work that they've done in putting this together. It's really been a wonderful, wonderful event so far. This year, the organizers of the Native American Language Summit wanted to create a special acknowledgement for veterans who served as Native American code talkers during World War I and II. As you are probably aware, the National Native American Veterans Memorial, located on the National Mall at the National Museum of the American Indian, just a block from both the Department of Education and the Department of Health and Human Services, opened to the public this year. In fact, last week on Veterans Day. And we know that this special tribute to our Native veterans provides a special opportunity to acknowledge the few remaining code talkers from World War II. We asked a couple of them to provide remarks for the Language Summit, and we are happy to share their words with you today. The first code talker is from Thomas Piguet. He shares his experience as a Navajo code talker with the Marines.
United States neighborhood land. My name is Thomas H. Piguet, United States Marine Corps, 1943 to 1946. I've been through training Navajo Court Talker. I really didn't enlist for Court Talker. I was enlisted for area gunner. And they processed me as for area gunner and then went to boot camp. For some reason, after the boot camp, I thought they were going to send me to aerial gunner school. But they sent me to Camp Pendleton. I reported to certain different area. It was a restricted area over at Camp Pendleton where they had a court talker school, which I did not know anything about it. When I showed up, I reported to Sergeant Benali. He said, welcome. So I told him, sir, I think they sent me to the wrong place. I didn't sign up to be court talker or any other thing that I need to be. I enlisted to be aerial gunner. Shoot down planes from the airplane in flight. So aerial gunner school where I was supposed to go. But they sent me to Navajo Court Talker School. And then the Sergeant Benali said, too bad you're here. This is Navajo Court Talker School. If you're Navajo, you're going to be a court talker. I told him I didn't know any that much Navajo. Then he said, well, we're going to teach you the code. And all Navajo are to come here to go to court talker school. So I say, I don't know. I say, I still want to go to area comedy school. Well, she said, too bad. He said, if you refuse to train, you're going to be court-martial, reduce your rank to private. And then you disobey an order, you made a PRC, say, we're going to bust you down to private. So I went and tried. I told him I'll try. He gave me 20 words and gave me tests, mostly ABC. Yeah, it was very simple. Looking on the list, and then where I saw that letter J, it was a jelly chunky. I kind of laughed like, say, hey, that's easy. So I went ahead and said, oh, I have no choice since I'm going to lose everything. He said, I want to be honorable and I want to serve my country. So they started me on court talker words. It was easy for me because I knew Navajo traditional way. That's the way I grew up at home with my parents. We had a lot of sheep and we just take care of the sheep, and that's the way my parents make a living. And I didn't start school until I was 13 years old at Fort Defiance. So I had only 3 years of schooling, and so Marine Corps enlisted at Gallup. They sent me to Albuquerque, different place, get my physical fit. So I be able to become a Marine. So they processed me and everything, all the record, everything. They told me I'm a qualified, that I, according to all of my tests that I did, you had completed 8th grade. It was very good advantage because I went to 5th grade while I was in school at Fort Defiance. Anyway, I learned the language, went overseas, the Battle of Iwo Jima, February 19th, 1945. We have, on Iwo Jima, we had Green Beach, Red Beach 1 and 2. That was our area, and there were 33 of us. And we set up 6 radio network with the regiment and the headquarters, recon, all the landing party that they had, Marine had to do. So we involved with using language. We sent close to 800 messages within less than 48 hours. It was in the history book, so it says that we sent 800 messages without a mistake. That's true. So that's what the Navajo did with the different code that they use, like ABC. They use animals, ants, and things like that, like Wallachie is letter A. Letter B is shush, bear, and down to letter J is, says Tilly Chucky. It was kind of funny when you hear Tilly Chucky. That means a male donkey. So it kind of, even they use letter H, it's a horse or hare. And then letter A, ants, red ants. Our different words in letter A, B, C was the easiest one. So we had to memorize. You cannot take notes home. You cannot take all the notes and everything turned in before the end of the day. So that's how we were trained, and that's how we were told not to write, and we didn't have no handbook, no cookbook, nothing. When we got into combat and we sent those 800 messages without a mistake on the OG. So this is how the Navajos developed secret code and used it, and no one ever decoded or break the code all through the World War II. This is the story of our Navajo, close to 400 people. Navajos were trained to be Navajo Choctaw. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Wow, it's so humbling to hear your words, and we certainly appreciate your life and all you have done for us. The story that Mr. Piguet shares is truly historic and highlights the bravery and sacrifice made by nearly 500 other code talkers like him. Next, Peter Mcdonald will share his reflections on the importance of the cultural context woven into how our languages are constructed.
Yate shahastwe sezane setilke shije kent neshike dishi dishne Peter McDonald. Those of you who do not understand the Navajo language, what I have said was, good day. My name is Peter McDonald. I'm addressing men, women, young ladies, young men, and all my relatives. Language, we all know, is very, very important. I don't care what language you speak, whether you speak the English language, French, Chinese, Navajo, Sioux, Hopi, Apache, whatever language you speak, it's very, very important. Why is it important? Because it gives you life. How does it give you life? Everything as you're growing up is explained to you in your language. Of course, if you grew up as an Anglo person or grew up in English only speaking Native American home, all you would know and understand about nature, about creation, about yourself from the tip of your toes to the top of your head. All would be learned using the English language. Not only what each part of your body is called in English language, but also how it functions. And also, as you get older, using whatever language your parents and community speaks, you have a wider understanding. But basically, your language gives you your mind and also becomes very much of the spirit that you have. And more importantly, it gives you a way to understand every little thing that is around you. I grew up 100% Navajo, meaning my parents, my grandparents, and relatives all spoke Navajo, nothing else. They may know a few words of English, maybe, or they may know a word, 2 or 3 words in other tribes. But basically, they knew the Navajo language 100%. So when I first remember things, it was all in Navajo. They taught me things that I need to know, how to behave, all of that in Navajo. Names of things that I see with my own eyes, like the different kind of trees. They all have names. Fir tree, pine tree, Ndishchi, and sage. All these different things that I see, there were Navajo names that I have to memorize because everything they tell me is in Navajo, what different things are called. Your eyes, na, nose, nchi, brain, nchiga, ntsinikas, think, honiya, be wise, know the difference between what is good and what is bad, know the difference what is beautiful and what is not beautiful, what is right and what is wrong with the things that you see and observe. All those in Navajo, Hojonche and Chonche, Hochonche, all of those. So, as we communicate with one another, we all communicate that in that one language, Navajo. Even names given to people, Navajo. My grandfather's name was Dagatlani. Dagatlani in Navajo means one with many whiskers. And my great-grandfather on my mother's side, his name was Tla'chishchili. Tla'chishchili. Tla'chishchili in Navajo means curly-haired lefty, left-handed. I noticed, though, that today many of our translators mistaken what Tla'chishchili means. They say that Tla means your rear end. That's Atla, that's rear end. Ntla, that's left. Tla'chishchili, left-handed, curly hair. So there's some slight inflection of your tongue and how you hear these things becomes very important. So you do not mistake, like so many of our young people today, mistaking what the original words were for something else that they have learned more recently, like the sacred mountains. The sacred mountain on the south side of Navajo's universe is Dokooslit. That's what we say in our prayers and in our song. We name that mountain, the southern mountain, Dokooslit. And I noticed reading some article somewhere recently that some of the younger folks are interpreting Dokooslit to mean something that's shiny, simply because sleet, they probably hear that, they think that means something that's shiny or bright. No. Dokooslit it sounded differently way back in the beginning, meaning maybe 5,000 years ago. What that word was is do-piki-o-tlit. Do-piki-o-tlit in Navajo, if you translate it, means it does not thaw on top of it. Do-piki-o-tlit. Eventually, it's been translated over and over and over and being repeated over and over that it dropped off a few syllables here and there. So it became Dokooslit. But if you learn to be a medicine man, they tell you what Dokooslit means. It means it does not thaw on top. Year round, back 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, it never thawed on top of San Francisco peaks. That's what the English people call that mountain, San Francisco peaks. So, way back 5,000 or more years ago, snow never melted on top. Dokooslit, which is now, we say Dokooslit, but it meant that, and still today, although in the month of August, most of the snow on top of San Francisco peaks thaws out. But way back when it got its name, it didn't thaw at all. There would be White Cap Mountain. So language is very important for many reasons, as I said earlier. One is if you're going to learn and understand different things that you live in, things that you see or even hear, have Navajo words. And those Navajo words were very descriptive 5,000-10,000 years ago. But as we evolve, those words also became condensed in one place or another and becomes a word that appears to be, what are you talking about? Because there's nothing like that I have seen or heard. So, in order to understand what it is that you are being told in Navajo, you need to know the history of those words, how it became that particular word. Otherwise, you're really missing out. Words like sa na gai pikehojon, We use that, medicine men use those words today when you say prayers, especially beauty way, ceremonial prayers. For that matter, any prayer that you want to be saved, you want to be protected, you want to live forever in a good way, beauty way, then you want to say, again, what does that mean in Navajo? So, by knowing the meaning, you will appreciate what really means. The way I was told, that means one that walks with beauty all around you, above you, around you, the east of you, the south of you, the north of you, behind you, underneath you, above you, all of that, in whatever direction, up, down, west, east, south, north, beauty all around you. That also means forever. So to really appreciate and understand what those Navajo words mean, you have to go back down the root of those words. How did that come about, so that the way we say today represents something more than just the words that you translate from Navajo to English. There are many Navajo words I know that cannot be translated to English because I have yet to find in dictionary a word that truly represents what some of those Navajo words represent. So it's just like looking at it, a drawing, an artwork. There's certain things you see in that artwork. The same way with the language. It has art, it has beauty, it has a lot of things that help you understand, help you realize where you are and how you should move, what direction, and how to be good. That's part of the language that we all need to know. That's why language is so important today.
Well, thank you so much. Again, I'm very humbled and honored that our co-talkers could be with us today and provide that information. It's a universe bigger than many of us understand, and we're very thankful that they are sharing their life with us. Co-talkers have been honored by presidents and Congress. They have been books and films about their heroic deeds and service to the country. We hope that the Individual Achievement Award issued to an individual or group of individuals for demonstrating leadership, persistence, and steadfast determination against significant odds to maintain, preserve, and revitalize Native American languages serves as a reminder to a grateful nation that our native languages are an implaceable treasure that once held national importance and still today hold the potential to future uses and therefore should be preserved. It is with great honor on behalf of the Department of Education, the Department of the Interior, and the Department of Health and Human Services that we present the Native American Languages Legacy Individual Achievement Award to Native American Code Talkers. Here to accept the award on behalf of the Code Talkers is Mr. Tim Tingle, founding board member of the Association of Tribal Archives, Libraries, and Museums. Tim Tingle is an Oklahoma Choctaw and an award-winning author and storyteller. His great-great-grandfather, John Carnes, walked the Trail of Tears in 1835, and his paternal grandfather attended a series of rigorous Indian boarding schools in the early 1900s. In 1993, Mr. Tingle traced the Trail of Tears to Choctaw homelands in Mississippi and began recording the stories of tribal elders. And I'd like to ask if Mr. Tingle, the founding board member, will accept the award on behalf of the Navajo Code Talkers.
Thank you. Thank you, Ron. And the association, I would like to say that the Association of Tribal Archives, Libraries, and Museums, we're humbled and we're honored to be the caretaker of the Native American Code Talkers Award. From the very beginning, it's always been our mission to preserve and protect indigenous cultures and lifeways and languages. We feel a deep sense of duty to honoring those who have fought so bravely to protect our homelands, our many homelands in our larger homeland. We will continue to work to further to preserve the stories of the esteemed code talkers and the languages that save the world as we know it. I would like to say just a bit about the Choctaw Code Talkers. When the United States entered World War I in April of 1917, it had not yet granted citizenship to many Native Americans. Nonetheless, several thousand enlisted in the armed forces. Nearly 1,000 members of 26 different tribes joined the 36th Division alone, mostly from Texas and Oklahoma. And in the summer of 1918, this 36th Division arrived in France to participate in a key battle in the war in northern France, the Argonne Campaign, it was called. It was a major offensive in the Western Front. And the outcome of the conflict was very much in doubt. A major problem for the Allied forces was that the Germans could easily understand their communications and anticipate everything the Allies were about to do. The Allies had tried runners, human runners. They tried color-coded rockets. They'd even tried carrier pigeons, but nothing was working. And one day, a commander of the 36th Division overheard two young Choctaws speaking in their language. He stopped and turned to them and asked, "What language are you talking in?" And they said, "Choctaw, our own language, Choctaw." And he knew right away that this language could be very important as a code. A Choctaw speaker was soon posted at several different headquarters. And in October of 1918, the Choctaws played a major role in the attack on a German position. The battle turned within 24 hours, and within 72 hours, the Allies were in full attack in northern France. At least 19 Choctaws became code talkers. There were no military terms, of course, in the Choctaw language, so they invented them. The Nampachito in the Choctaw language means big gun, and that was warning people that a cannon was aimed in their direction. Or this is my favorite, machine gun. The Nampa Iskatini Tukfatushpa, which literally meant a little gun that shoots fast, and that meant a machine gun is aimed your way. And then there was no word in Choctaw for grenade, of course. So stone, tuli, stone became the code word for grenade. And a captured German soldier later admitted that they couldn't make head or tails of anything you people are saying. What language is it? And they refused to tell him. And here's the sad truth. The Choctaws were credited with beginning that northern invasion and saving northern France, credited for saving thousands of lives. But when they returned home, they were punished so much for speaking their own language. The Navajo code talkers were, as most of you know, Marines, and are credited with helping the United States win many key battles. In July of 2000, 29 Navajo code talkers were honored and given the Congressional Gold Medal in Washington, D.C. for their services to the United States during World War II. And later on November 24th, 250 additional Navajo code talkers received the Congressional Silver Medal. Navajo Nation President Piguet said, "This award is long overdue. From this day forward, we will continue to remember the courage and the sacrifice of the Navajo code talkers. You are our true American heroes." Navajo code talkers, Choctaw code talkers, and 33 tribes that had code talkers serving in World War II. We honor you all. I would like to close this acceptance of the honor with our Choctaw national anthem. Shilong bish holy do pa ma ish mi ti pu la cha hata kilba shapi ish pi yokapa Laski. Yakoke. Thank you.
Thank you, Tim. And Brian, I'll turn it back to you.
Noah Iddy, Mado, big thank you, Mr. Tingle, Mr. Lessard, for your encouraging words and beautiful stories, taking us back there, thinking of our ancestors and our relatives. And thank everyone for all your comments over here in our chat. Our elders, our code talkers were pre-recorded, and so their videos were sent in, and they were set at a certain time, so they weren't cut off live. If anyone thinks that they were cut off on that segment, they sent those videos in. So we want to say another Noah Iddy, Mado, thank you to them for making the time to share their stories with us, Mr. Thomas Piguet and Mr. Peter Mcdonald Sr., and their amazing stories, of that time and the things that they did, to protect our nation here, our tribal nations, the United States, and the oath that they took to do that. So we have another video that we're going to show, I believe. And let me see. I think we have a song by Mr. Thomas McGay that they're going to show next before we close this session, and then make a couple of other announcements for today. So we can go to that. I think they have that ready. That video of the Marine Corps song.
Now, na ta ta so kon ta ti ka o ta ti do ta ka ki so kon ta ti pa ta ni ne kai la ba ni she da ho le United States Marine. Ta 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 lying costo Behedine bike Arada Hesse Danda he the United States Marine. Hoy son con el teto a la copy que titli. Ni kesti trini aten yewul ye ni she aten. La con soy don lake. Ojo cortes e. Navajo nation bisi la con soy la. Ojo co kehate. Go ahead, Long. Thank you very much.
Aho, Noah Eddie, Mado, Ihehet, Mr. Thomas Piguet for sharing that song with us here today. What a beautiful time and a blessing for us here, and just honored to be here and be a part of this National Native American Languages Summit and this honoring here today of our native code talkers and everything that's happening. It's a special time for all of us, and I hope that all of you, all of our participants here, share this message of this summit that is, like we said, is pre-recorded, and that you can go back and view it again, and that they didn't get the opportunity to see this, that they will definitely make time to see this and feel that same blessing, feel that same duda hey duda chixtahu feeling right here in our heart, our spirit, of what's happening right now. So at this time, I want to thank all of our presenters today for making time to be here with us, and for our opening prayer, Mr. Richardson, to you and your people out there on the East Coast as we continue moving forward at this time for all of our people, and putting good thoughts and that good medicine out there for all of our communities as we continue to do this work and continue to look over our people and our elders, our young people, our families, and our communities. Before we go on to close this session, our next session is at 4 p.m. and you guys can go on the agenda, look at it again. I did want to share it with you because some people were having a little trouble finding it. It's at 4 p.m. and there's 3 sessions. One is the using student achievement data to support instructional decision making. The other, and that's in room 1. In room 2, we have how online virtual platforms can support language teaching and learning. And then in room 3, indigenous language as a protective factor, learning from native language programs. So we have 3 rooms, 3 sessions. I encourage you guys to, if you have the time, get on and check these sessions out. I've been telling everyone what we've been doing the last 3 days, and some people finally were able to get on today and register, and they were telling me how excited they were to be a part of this. So that's our next 3 sessions starting at 4 p.m. East Coast time. I think we're about 10 minutes from there. So go to your agenda and you can click and jump in one of those rooms. And then there's a break at 5:30, or at 5 to 5:30 break. And then at 5:30 to 6:30 is our closing session. And we want to invite all of you to come back for our closing session. We have a special acknowledgement and some closing remarks that I think everyone will be really happy to be a part of and to experience with us today. So have a wonderful session as you guys go on to the next part of our program. And I look forward to seeing you guys in our closing session. Have a beautiful day. Kustuji edit. I'll see you again.